Hello and welcome back to another CFD cookie. And this time we're going to use this geometry. Probably you already have seen that we have done many tutorials with this Cessna, meshing, running the case and so on, but we are not going to redo that. I want to show you because very often I receive the question, what format do you use to visualize your data and your results in Paraview? Because Paraview can be very painful, especially when your meshes start to be large, like probably more than 4 or 5 million. It can be very, very slow. So I will try to make the distinction paraFoam, Paraview, and will show you what format do I use and how do I manage to get much faster visualizations. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. Let me close that. So I'm using this data set. I already run the simulation. The mesh is something about 7.8 million cells. So the first thing is I would use OpenFOAM 13. Okay, so if you use Paraview standard version OpenFOAM 13, there are some modifications. Okay, so let's do this, but if I would recall, it's based in Paraview 5.11. So once you see the paraFoam, it is a wrapper for Paraview, and in paraFoam, with this paraFoam, you get access to some filters that you can get access now to X information in OpenFOAM. So see that like sets and sums and that stuff is you create that in paraFoam. Also you get access to all the mesh parts and cell center data, point center, very specific to OpenFOAM. So this thing there is slowing down. Now when you open the data set, it will slow down everything. So let me open this one, let me click here and apply, and let's wait. And this is painful. Okay, you will see it, this is at 7.8 million cells, and it takes some time to load the data. So there's, you see, it start to load, and let's wait. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so probably here in the bottom you saw that it's using some plugins, PB phone reader and so on. So you see that it's very slow. So to mention something, that some differences, that here you see that in previous version you didn't have this one, so now here you can access the decomposed data and so on. So this was 7.8 million cells. Imagine if you put something 20 million cells, it is super slow. So the other option, it is paraFoam minus built-in. Okay, so you put it like this. So this is the one that I can recommend you within this paraFoam plugin, paraFoam script. So it's pretty much the same, but the built-in, you see that you don't have some of the options that you have previously. So this plugin, it seems that it's slower, it's faster than the previous one. It still is slow, but probably you are losing some information like reading this, accessing the sun steps and so on. You don't get it here, but it's up to you. So let me click apply, and let's wait. You will see that it's faster, but it is something slow. So let's wait for the results. And there you go. So clearly it was faster, but meshes keep getting larger, and this still is painful to open a mesh. That being said, okay, we made the distinction paraFoam built-in. If you are going to stick with paraFoam, use the built-in, unless you want to access the sets and so on and that stuff. But then you can use Paraview standalone. Okay, so let me go. I will use Paraview 5.13. Okay, there is a new one, the 6. I recommend you to use that one. We're going to see the timing, and you will see that 6 is faster. So I will use this one. But remember is that you use Paraview standalone. You need to create this file, case phone. You can give it whatever name you want, but the extension needs to be .phone. And actually, I don't know, I don't recall if that is compulsory, so it can be any file, but I will check that. But in any case, you always put .font. So let me use paraFoam 5.13, okay? So this is a standalone. There is no plugin, Paraview plugin, paraFoam plugin, and that stuff. Okay, it's just the native from OpenFOAM, from Paraview, from BTK, from the people from BTK. So you go here, open case font. So see that you can access, reconstruct, decompose data, just pick whatever you want. So let me pick that one, apply, and off you go. So see that it is accessing the reader, now the pure OpenFOAM reader, but you can get the idea that it's faster than the previous one, probably in the same order of magnitude as the paraFoam built-in. But if you time, you will see that is faster, okay? And there you go. You have your data set and you work in the same way. So just to point out that you see the sensors are slow, so there are some filters here that are super slow. So it will be really, really annoying, painful to do something. So you need to get the most efficient data. So this was paraFoam 5.13. So now let's do it with paraFoam 6, the one that I strongly recommend you to just move to this one, use this one. And when I process OpenFOAM data using Paraview, I use this version. And let's open the dataset. Same stuff, but you will see that developers, they have done a lot of improvements. So the reader, it is faster, okay, in Paraview 6. And see that you already have it there. So you see the difference much, much faster. So go and use paraFoam 6. Use the native data, you can see that it's faster, okay? But the final trick, okay, it is using a format different from OpenFOAM. The OpenFOAM format, honestly speaking, is not very efficient. So also make the distinction between ASCII and binary. So as you save in ASCII format tends to be slower, binary tends to be faster, but you will encounter now the same hurdles. So the best way is to convert the data to something more efficient. So I have to say that any alternative format is better than the OpenFOAM data. And this applies also for if you're working with Fluent. Same stuff with Fluent. Fluent native files are very, very slow. So convert it to something else. So you can convert it to BTK, TechPlot, any of the formats. So I don't recall font to, so you will have GMB, ensight, Star Mesh, BTK. Well, actually, the ones that BTK, ensight, GMB, that is very old. I don't know if that is efficient one. I don't see TechPlot, but TechPlot format, you can use it as well. So the one I recommend you is to use ensight. Of all the formats that I have tested, ensight for me is the fastest one, but BTK is also fast. So now let me show you that I will go Paraview. And let me use first version 13 native, okay? I didn't use the OpenFOAM plugin, the compilation, nothing. And let me open, I converted the data, I have it here. And probably you already have, if you have followed some previous videos, you realize that I use consistently this ensight format because it's very fast. And there you go. So as you can see, super fast. And that's it. You start to do all your operations. So my standard practice when I work with ensight, I always save the data in Cell Center, but then you can convert, you have the filters, you can convert from Cell Center to point data, then to extract the blocks, because here you don't see the mesh parts, so you need to use the filter, so you get inner mesh, okay, and in inner mesh you can apply the slice and so on. So you will see that everything that you are going to do, all these operations are much faster if you compare with that bloody paraFoam or paraFoam built-in. Then another here, prod and body, and there you go. So this is how it works. So now you get the point, which is the best format. But then the final trick, use Paraview 6 with ensight or BTK format, because BTK format, it is equally fast, okay? But for some reason, I prefer, I use a lot ensight. And by the way, so when I want to do very, very fast post-processing, I use ensight. That it's much faster than Paraview. I'm not saying that Paraview is not good, but ensight tends to be much faster, especially for very large data sets. So I go here, I don't want I want ensight, open, and here you will get access, and that's it. You have the dataset. So you see that it's way much faster than 513. 513 with ensight is way much faster than anything that you can get with OpenFOAM or with paraFoam and all the formats. So this is it, and this is how it works. So I hope you have here a new trick. Okay, and yeah, by use ensight or BTK format, they tend to be much faster. They are much faster than the native OpenFOAM format, and also do the change to OpenFOAM 6. No, I strongly recommend it, to Paraview 6. Sorry, I strongly recommend it. So that's it. Okay, this was the CFD cookie to show you this trick. So I hope you like it. So if you like it, there's thumbs up. If you didn't like it, I don't take any negative comments. Now, in case you have the comment section, so just put your question there, or your remarks or your critics there. So thank you, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.